Shantae and the pirate's curse is risky. Shantae and the pirate's curse is Joe. There's Bolo who's a weenie. Shantae is not a genie. I spent forever in the cold. There's a river that the pirate king's a lima. Schoolgirls are covered in saliva. And there is the pirate's bastion, and there is the curse in question, and there is the palace you all came to see.
Hi, it's nice to see you again. Did you do something with your face? Now, since my last video on Shantae and many shorts, I've been known as the Shantae guy. I understand that there are worse things to be known for, but I've been unable to leave my house without some kid going, "Mama, mama, look! That's the guy that said breasts!" And one of my closer friends have been sending me questionable artworks of the purple-haired girl from a certain Mint website during my work hours. And that's when I realized what I had become. Artists of the world, animators, basement dwellers of all nations, I call thee to create works beyond the limits of our imaginations. I give to you a muse! I present Shantae Maybe Lewd. This is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. This is everyone's favorite game in the Shantae series, probably. I wasn't sure why until I was hit with something that can only be described with a single word. Oh. And it's all located in that palace. We'll get to it. But first, join me for a story.
The magic surrounding me has grown weak. Now is the time to invoke the curse. Hear me, loyal servants!
Shantae has been dreaming about this talking gravestone for approximately since she became full human. But she's a half genie. What happened? Honestly, no idea. I think it has something to do with the last game, which I haven't played. She wakes up at the crack of her wall she's under attack and finds that the city is being destroyed. She meets up with Sky and Bolo and is given an abortion, an auto potion, and a pike ball. Couldn't tell you what this does. I never used it. Bolo says to remember your training or something. It doesn't matter. You still fight using your strands of steel. And can we just talk about Shantae's design in this game? Half Genie Hero had some quality artwork, but this is good stuff. I think it's because she's leading with her chest in this one. In this area, it looks like a little pouch that she could slip her hand underneath and, I don't know, pull out a grilled cheese sandwich for me and the boys to enjoy. My fantasies are very specific. Mayor Rotund has sold Scuttletown to purchase those overpriced and underwhelming pistachio-flavored chocolates, you know what I'm talking about, to Ammo Baron, who is counterintuitively blowing up Main Street. This here's the first boss battle, to which I did terribly before realizing that you cannot get hit if you stand under these crates. Shantae trashes Ammo Baron's tank before the royal guards come to give Shantae a special gift. Yay, I got the court summons! Turns out she wasn't supposed to attack him, cause indirectly, he owns the town. So she's summoned to a court hearing and will be relieved of any weapons. Yes, she will be shaved. So there are a few moments in this game where some mildly lewd event occurs for no discernible reason. Some may call this unnecessary, some may call it fan service, but these are pretty standard for the game, so I will be referring to them as Shantae moments. Shantae moment number 1. Oh dear, what a predicament I've gotten myself into. Looks like I should take a hot bath to think about it. Oh no! The bathtub trapped me! Now I'm nude and restrained. What happens next? Taller girl shows up with even bigger Bankanaga hoogs. Risky Boots shows me that her men have been turned into bats by an evil curse. She thinks I did that, but I didn't. So she crosses that off the list and discovers that the long-dead Pirate King is coming back and turning her men evil. I mean, they already were, but it's like a different evil. Like corporate slop to AI slop kind of evil. Anyway, I was roped into joining her quest to stop him because she did this. Okay, count me in. We gotta get a map in order to start looking for him. Shantae reaches the palace. Squid Baron is feeling sorry for himself, so let's jot that down in the notes. She defeats snake enemies to obtain flesh pops. I have multiple questions, but I know they will not be answered, so I won't bother asking. She gives them to Oh, his name's Follow? Because he's watching the zombie kids. In return, he gives her the key to the palace. This lets her grab the map so she and Risky can set off to sea. The map takes us to a place called Saliva Island. This is a foresty waterfall area with one simple theme, mouth juice. A man is with his woman here, who says that she has been turned to stone by a curse. A likely story, sir. That is a statue. He gives Shantae a ring, which can be placed in a slot to activate Shantae moment number 2, these statues. So she finds this pond to meet Twitch and Vinegar. They want to go swimming, but there is unfortunately no water in the pond. Girls, you are on an island. There is a beach about a segment and a half to your left. Twitch, or Vinegar, I actually don't know which one is which, sets up the ham, which is bigger than both of them. If you're playing this game and for some reason are using this video for a walkthrough, you've certainly come to a place. But I'll tell you that if you're stuck here like I was, you're supposed to keep hitting the ham until it releases the ham stink, ladies. Now, given that the name of the island is Saliva Island and the pool is empty, how do you suggest we fill it up? Wrong. Dinosaur monster. We use the statues to get way above the pool and die 1,000 times to the frogs, and release the ham stink through the sucky lamp so that the monster will release his juices upon the women below. By the way, right here you'll find a cackle bat. You'll want to defeat these things throughout the game so you can suck the dark magic they leave behind. This will become important when it does. Shantae moment number 3. As the water turned on, oh my god, so am I. This reveals the large message on the slab, which is a spell. She takes it as an item, even though it's not really clear what she just grabbed. Regardless, we give it to the man with the stone wife. The spell was assumed to undo the petrification, but it actually just does it again. Very sad for them, but also convenient, because the ground ends up giving out beneath them, revealing Spittle Maze. I don't think I've ever liked a level theme less. I think a much more fitting name would be the Maze of Infinite Snakes. I'm very upset about them. In this dungeon, you will find a Risky's pistol. I think most people agree that even though genie transformations are a great concept for a game, the pirate items are just so much better in execution. I approve. I like shooting things. The boss of this dungeon is a Cyclops plant. Unfortunately, that's all I can really say about it. It's a Cyclops plant. Shoot the eye because you always shoot the eye. After the boss, there's a Tinkerbat who drops a map to the next location, Spiderweb Island. Here is where we meet my personal favorite, Roddy Tops. She's stuck in a web and uses guilt tactics to get Shantae to carry her to her house through a horde of grabby hands, wet tongues, and kissy bots. To which we find out that she is not injured and just wanted a ride. She has proven herself in these games to be a terrible person. But of course we still like her. And why would that be? I prepared a little number to explain. We care for her because she's hot. We wouldn't care as much if she were not. Yeah, her short green hair is flowing and her thin midriff is showing. Yeah, we care for her because she's hot.
Let's be honest, fellas.
We care for them because they're cute. 'Cause a lot of us are destitute. See, they got those massive eyes, we want to be crushed by their thighs. Yeah, we care for them because they're cute. See, you're getting it. We care for her because she's hot. Now we're supposed to look for Poe. On the way, we meet some sort of hungry entity. Jot that down, guys. We're feeding him a corpse or something. There's Poe. He wants to fix his wagon, and he needs some squid oil to help the wheels go round and round all through the cemetery. Gasp! I know a... Frick, that's an expression. I know a squid. He's busy being sad. Shantae heads back to the Sequinland Palace to obtain a travel brochure for a new and exciting world, using our new pistol that Risky is apparently just okay with us using. We give this vacation idea to Squid Baron, who gets so excited that he squirts just for us. Squid oil, not ink, oil. So back to the wagon. Poe can now fix it, and in return, Shantae gets a head in life. I don't know. The head is to be given to the entity in the caves, which grants us access to Cackle Tower. In this dungeon, or I suppose Risky refers to it as a den of evil, but it's a dungeon, and we get Risky's hat. This can be used to glide and fly when there's an updraft, which is conveniently located in the center of the tower. As for the boss, average Australian wildlife. Afterwards, Shantae receives a map for Tan Line Island. Let me take this moment to mention the music in the game. I mentioned it briefly in the last Shantae video, but the soundtrack is incredible. It was composed by Jake Kaufman, who is also one of the composers for the recent Game of Earth show. I don't understand why I don't hear these these songs more often. They feel like they should be around just as much as the Undertale music, because I hear that everywhere. Anyway, the point is, it's some quality stuff. I don't remember why, but Shantae visits Sky's place. Sky has a boyfriend.
Barracuda Joe.
He is one of Ammo Baron's minions, who ended up talking to Sky and hit it off with her. Her parents are also here to congratulate her. Her dad brings in a gift from Tan Line Island, a large sarcophagus, which, even if you didn't know was going to turn Joe to stone, the sarcophagus kind of sends a message, doesn't it? I guess we just stopped by to watch someone die. Let's move on to the desert. In front of the large palace, Squid Baron is still feeling sorry for himself, and gives us the X-ray specs, at which I hope he wasn't using. We can use these to see inside of the sarcophagus to find the 3 parts to a code. One of them is below the desert, one is on Saliva Island, and the last one is right where Sky's dad brought it. Finally, we get the passcode to Tan Line Temple. Sorry, I guess it's not a palace. Lion. I think they forgot to change the lot code when they first bought it. Anyway, in she goes. The leader of these guys mistakes Shantae for the princess who has finally returned, so she gets placed into a room to get ready for the ceremony. Oh. Okay. Oh dear. Oh my god! Shantae moment number 4 through 7, I guess. Listen, I'm not here to make any judgments on the morality of the inclusion of this segment, so let's just enjoy the show. I'm almost disappointed that Bolo wasn't mistaken for a princess. Shantae and her friends all got dragged into the same situation for various reasons, and she must collect keys to save everyone and escape. Once they realize that the leader has dementia and the real princess was on a shopping trip, he gives Shantae a golden pickaxe for the misunderstanding and sends her on her way. This can be given to the rock miners outside so they can clear this wall. Yes, the wall. This wall. This is the wall they are mining. Mine the wall! Going further will grant us access to the lost catacombs.
Coombs, you said?
Here we'll find Risky's scimitar, no relation to the one she already has, I guess, which will allow Shantae to destroy things below her by bouncing on them. The boss of this level is Squid Baron. He's fighting Shantae because he believes his destiny is now to be a filler boss, which is ironic since there are multiple other bosses with zero importance to the story. Squid Baron is probably the 3rd most relevant boss in the game, just behind the Pirate King and Ammo Baron. Next up, Mudbog Island, home of the most despicably jiggly monsters in all of the 7 seas. Actually, there are over 50 seas, and only 5 recognized oceans. I'm getting off track. This is probably my least favorite place to go on a walk. If you travel through here, you will come out the other end on half a heart. Before you go in, you're gonna want to trade your X-ray specs for Bolo to get a death mask. Otherwise, you'll have to go through all of that pain again. So show your fancy new death mask to the gatekeeper and enter the village of Lost Souls. Here you'll find 3 souls of various colors. You'll look throughout the village to find their 3 coins. Then you'll have to guess what side they flip. They flip the same thing every time, so you could just keep trying until you get it. They give Shantae a locket, which will immediately be given to Roddy's soul, which makes me really confused on how zombies work in this world. You helped her remember her brothers in her old life, and she no longer feels lost, so in return she sets you on fire. You can transfer this fire to the fire pit above the area to summon a large, shadowy man. Based on context, I think this is supposed to be Shantae's father. He releases the manly musk for us to use. He might have farted. Shantae can suck this up to get into the oubliette of suffering. Apparently, they won't let anyone in that actually smells good. Weird policy, but we'll roll with it. Here, we'll find Risky's boots. We can use these to run and bash through destructible objects. All you need is enough room to get going. That's why the main puzzle in this place is trying to align these cages to have enough room to run through it. Honestly, creative design. I approve. The boss of this dungeon is a dragon. What? When you leave, the big probably dad says hi and gives you a lost soul. It's also revealed that he's not even a soul himself, so he's either a shadow creature or covered in full body latex. Now, we are brought to Frostbite Island, where we find Ammo and Techno Baron discussing a deal. Techno Baron's assistant is working on the targeting module, and Shantae must go check up on him. Before getting to Propeller Town, which is very much a factory and not a town, you must travel through the snowy wastes. The first wall you can bump into using the boots gives you a cackle bat, so I spent hours bumping into literally everything just to find more stuff. Up in Propeller Town, we see that Bolo is the new assistant. He also has no idea what he's working on, but he's working hard. Never have I understood a feeling more. He's finished with the targeting module, so we'll take it to Ammo Baron. On the way, we'll stop by Roddy's house because apparently she can identify the soul as
Barracuda Joe!
So we'll give Joe's soul back, which will allow him to dump Sky, and he'll get back to work. Ammo Baron receives the targeting module, and he'll need the rest of his troops back so that he can shoot a nuke at the sequin Sequinland Palace. We are, of course, complicit in this attack, so let's go find the others. Twitch and Vinegar are new recruits of his, but they are currently staring at this guy, waiting for him to transform into Brandson. He was saying to us that he's actually a superhero, but needs his blade in order to transform. So real quick, we'll snatch it from the desert and come right back to him so that he may say the ultimate transformational words.
Hey guys, we should get matching purses. No reason they should just be for ladies anymore. Am I right? Hey, fellas, don't leave. Fellas, come back!
Those were the magical words. Really unfortunate how we must have learned that. Now that Twitch and Vinegar are all satisfied with the show, they'll head back to work. Despite Shantae desperately trying to stop them by standing in place and patiently waiting, they launch the nuke. It lands point blank on Technobaron because the main circuit panel was, quote, installed backwards and upside down and inside out. Bolo's incompetence saves the day. The hole left behind grants us access to the abandoned factory. Here, we'll find Risky's cannon, which we can use to shoot downwards only, in which the recoil will blast Shantae upward. The boss of this dungeon is the Steel Maggot. Surprisingly, the easiest boss I've fought thus far in this game. You just have to hit the red bulbs on the top a couple of times in order to defeat it. Now, we have the map to the Lonely Grave. This grave can only belong to one monster so heinous, because it's got a skull design on it. The Pirate King. Before we head on over, we'll look through the whole map to find any heart squids and cacklebats we didn't already. That way, we will have enough hearts for the final boss, and getting all the magic from the cacklebats gives us the good ending. Most of them are all pretty easy to find, but there's one in Frostbite Island. I was searching for a while and couldn't find the last heart squid. I assumed, since I got the last item in the abandoned factory, that I would have gotten all the extra stuff in there. But nope, as soon as I grabbed the cannon, I went straight for the boss, completely missing this guy. Onto the grave. We learned that Risky was a part of the Pirate King's crew, and as he fell in a battle against the genies, Risky took over the crew and stole his items. So everything we have actually belonged to him. What's interesting is that you can actually see him from the world map. Don't see him? That's because his face is right there. That's correct. First of all, that is freaking hardcore. Second of all, why would anyone want a proper burial or even cremation when this is an option? Honestly, I don't get why he's so upset. So he wants to take over Sequinland for reasons, and he casts a sort of finale dark cloud above the island. He's obviously at the palace, so we'll make our way there. Oh no, a soldier has fallen in battle! Rest ye soul, wary guy. Oh no, a soldier has fallen in battle! Rest ye soul. Oh no! As Shantae goes up the impossibly tall tower, she will be tested on all the items she's gained throughout her journey. This section is appropriately difficult. It was at least the first time I felt the need to break a nearby desk object out of anger. Going up, we'll learn how grotesquely organic the castle has become. This game certainly mixes a few themes. Final boss, the Pirate King. His first phase is him teleporting around and launching purple balls. After that, he'll take all of his items back to use against us. Here's where you're gonna want a bunch of potions. But I had lobsters, so I was ready for battle. I also had these 4 things, which I don't think I ever bothered to learn what they were. The Pirate King offers a deal. If I don't give him my dark magic, he will kill Risky Boots. Seems fair, but when I pull out the dark magic, it has been transformed into light magic, because all of this was Shantae's original magic that was inside of her before she became human. I stood there staring him down before realizing I was supposed to press X and suck the genie magic in to become a half genie again. Now Shantae and the Pirate King are both at full power. Attacks become faster. Shantae does a 999 attack damage with each hit, even though she's never done that before with her genie magic. Risky runs away in order to get the cannon shooting nuke minions to shoot at the Pirate King. I mean, that's what I'd assume, even though they are aiming directly at Shantae the entire time. You have to time where you are at and then shoot in order to get him. And now, he is dead. Risky gives some speech about being true to yourself, which is also just an excuse for further terrorism, but also, the world is saved. Shantae is at her peak power right now, so she uses her genie magic to finally grant a wish, return Scuttletown to normal. And that's the end of Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Overall, it's become a personal favorite of mine. It delved into the personal aspects of each character while keeping the lighthearted nature of the series, and featured plenty of Shantae moments to keep the weak-minded entertained, such as myself. Music, 10 out of 10. Art, 10 out of 10. Gameplay, 10 out of 10. Story, 10 out of 10. So, in conclusion, I rate this game a 568 out of 568. Thanks for watching. Next up on the list is Resident Evil 1 Remake, and then Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Yep, I have a bit of variety in tastes. I'll start listening to the polls now, since the reception from my last video was simply the consequences of my actions. Anyway, I'll see you around for the next one. Bye.